Georgia's longest trial in history starting to wrap up. 2 YSL defendants are left, and now Fulton County's district attorney is talking about the approach moving forward.
Atlanta News 4's Yasmina Alston is live at the Fulton County Courthouse. Yasmina, DA Willis is now speaking out.
And DA Fani Willis didn't say anything in particular about Young Thug taking a plea deal, but she did say nothing changes with this case for the remaining 2 defendants. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis speaking out about the current status of the YSL trial, a RICO indictment with prosecutors attempting to show YSL is a criminal street gang responsible for numerous offenses and not a record label tied to Jeffrey Williams, aka rapper Young Thug. Williams was arrested in 2022 along with 27 other suspected gang members.
It's bad character.
A trial that started in November of 2023 with jury selection that lasted longer than any other in Georgia history. Now, nearly a year later, the courtroom looks very different with only 2 remaining defendants, Shannon Stillwell and Diamante Kendrick.
I plead guilty.
Just recently, several plea deals, including that of Young Thug, surprised many following the trial. But for re-elected DA Willis, the trial continues as it has before.
The approach of that indictment, the approach will stay the same as we enter into the second term.
DA Willis sat down with Atlanta News First and addressed the current state of the trial, days after the case's central figure, Young Thug, was released on 15 years of probation. Though she didn't give her thoughts on the rapper's sentencing, she did say this.
YSL was a RICO indictment with 28 defendants. At this point, 14 of those defendants have been disposed. 1 was dismissed, and 13 have taken pleas, which means they've taken responsibility for their crimes. But we still have 14 defendants that have to finish their justice, and so it limits what I can say about it.
And the jury was in the courtroom today as the state questioned what appears to be their last witness. Live in Fulton County, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.